another juicy interview, another juicy conversation, because today we're in Carmel in California with beautiful Jacqueline Joy. I don't know if you guys remember, but I did an interview over Skype a while back, and we're in this beautiful chamber. You have to tell us where we're at here, because this is absolutely magnificent, and I'm sure everybody's kind of questioning.
Yeah.
What is this big rock behind us?
We are in the diamond chamber. That's where we are. And this crystal amplifies all of the work that I'm doing in the world with the diamond energy, with the diamond alignment technology. So that's where we are. We're in this, it's a generator. It really does amplify all the work. The whole property has been designed as a diamond portal. So it's receiving the divine energy and then emanating it out through the grid, through the worldwide grid that I have established over many, many, many years throughout the world. But this is it. This is the amplifying station right here.
So tell us about the story and how all this started before we get into the work that you have accomplished throughout the years, but how this came about.
Well, in 1987, I was a woman who had everything. Should I be looking at the camera?
As you want.
Okay. I was a woman, 38 years old, who had what everybody thinks that they want as a woman who's 38. I had a multi-million-dollar business with my husband that I did. I had 4 beautiful children under 10 years old. We had a long-term marriage. I was a pillar of the community. Ran 5 miles a day. Very, very healthy. And one night, I dropped to the floor, unconscious, out of the blue, with no warning or anything else. And so that was my huge wake-up call for my soul's work. And after that night, I don't know if I was out. I was completely unconscious. I don't know how long. It might have been 2 minutes or 5 minutes. But when I came to again, I was not the same. I was totally not the same. And anytime I tried to go back to being sort of that super woman that I had been before, doing everything for everybody else and not having any kind of awareness of myself, I would have major anxiety attacks. And at that time, nobody talked about anxiety attacks. No one talked about anxiety. Nobody knew what that was. So I was really scared that I had cancer or a brain tumor or something. And so, the anxiety attacks were really strong. And so I went to a doctor, an internist, and he checked out everything and did all the physical things, EKGs and all those things that you want to do. And after a few weeks, he called me in and he said, "Jacqueline, there is nothing wrong with you physically." He said, "Tell me about your life. What do you do?" And I started to talk about my life, which was very full. And he said, "But what do you do for yourself?" And I said, "Well, I pray." I was a religious person, I said, "I pray and I have a women's group and stuff." And he said, No, I mean, what do you do for you?" And I had nothing to tell him. There was nothing. I was all about living for everybody else. In the name of love, but all about everybody else. So his prescription to me was, you must lock your door 1 hour a day in your bedroom. Nobody can come in, children, friends, husband, nobody. And you walk for 1 hour a day. And that began my awakening process. And I think there's probably a lot of people who can relate to what I'm saying, that they don't have the time or haven't even thought about taking time to see inside what's going on inside and to be aligned with what's going on, with what you're here, your soul. And even though I was religious, it was tricky because
even more so.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a different kind. It wasn't religious like going to a church. It was like what I was being called to is to get connected inside spiritually, so that I was congruent, and that's what happened is that I ended up taking all, as I told you in your last interview, the walks in the hills every day for 9 years. I lived in kind of a Stepford wife community, you know what I mean? Everybody's perfect, looks good, and so intuitively I knew I had to get out of that neighborhood. So I found my way up into the hills, which nobody went into the hills. It was right behind our neighborhood, but nobody went into those hills. They were kind of scary. And so I went up there, and what I first saw, the very first thing that I noticed so strongly was this fallen down tree, this beautiful oak tree that had fallen to the ground, just like me. And so I went to that tree and I reverently put my hand upon it, and without thinking or knowing what I was doing consciously, I asked permission to really connect with this tree. And I climbed on its trunk and I put my hands on its trunk and I just called to the mother. I had never as a Catholic, I had never called to the earth for help. But my physical life is falling apart because my ex-husband was not happy about my change. And
no, that's scary. Two people around,
really. The neighbors, everybody, all my people that I was very connected to in the social structure, it was like I had leprosy because I had been such the pillar of the community. And when I dropped and I started having anxiety attacks, everybody was really terrified of me, and especially my ex-husband. So we ended up in a very strong, hard divorce. And with 4 children under 10 years old, that was really, really a lot of pain. And then what happened is when I would take this awakening that I went through started to clear all of my old conditioning and patterns. And so all of this old pain from the past was getting churned up, and I was in a lot of physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain. And when I would take that pain up to the tree, and that's what I was calling for, is help. Because going to churches and getting in the therapy I was in, nothing was helping me. The pain was so overwhelming. And so I was calling for help for a new foundation, physically. So that's why I was calling the earth. And then I would rise and raise my hands and call for the heavens, call for help. And I was calling for divine intervention, specifically divine intervention.
That's what you were saying, please?
I was saying, I need help, and I invoke intervention. If there's one thing that my gift is, it is that I know how to call for some reason, and when I call, I get answered. So then I would lie upon the tree after I made the call. This is only a few minutes. I would lie upon the tree, and for whatever reason, I felt completely safe to surrender, and I mean 100%. And I would lie out with my spine along the tree and completely go out. And it wasn't asleep. It was just out. I call it now the stellar journey. I was completely unaware of anything going on around me, so I was at profound peace. And it happened almost exactly to the moment for those 9 years, every day. At about 15 minutes, my body would kind of jerk a little bit, and then I'd be back. I'd be back into the physical world here.
And what would happen during this time?
So I never knew what happened during that time, but when I got up off of that tree, after giving gratitude for the help, I had no physical pain, no emotional pain. I was filled with joy. I had tons of energy. I had the courage to go down and face the fire of my life. So something was happening. I didn't know what. It was magic. For me, it was magic because it was the first time I didn't have to do something to make something happen. All I did was open.
Yeah.
And so, but I couldn't hold that amazing state. When I went down the hill, after a couple of hours, I'd get knocked around again because my life was so hellacious at that time.
So how often were you going up?
I was going up once a day for sure. But my kids got to where it would get tough. They go, Mom, it's time to go up to the hills. It was really hard. But because I had to go up there to get regenerated and recharged and to release all the pain that was coming up and that I was holding for my children too. It was just a lot. So on my call, my intervention, my invoking became different. It was like, okay, thank you for the help. I want to live in this state. I don't want to access this couple hours a day. I want to live it, whatever this is. And I didn't call it alignment then because I didn't know what to call it. But I just said I want to live like this. And I want that when I fall off and I'm not feeling like this, I know how to come back without having to take the trek up to the tree. And that's when something very huge happened in the answer to that call. Really, as I said, the intervention really comes when I call for it, and that's when I received a very strong presence. I'm not psychic, I don't see things, I don't hear things, that's not what my gifts are, but one morning in my living room, I did receive an exquisite, I believe now it was my higher consciousness, revealing itself to me in a physical form, but not that you could touch. But it was just as clear as looking at you. The most exquisite presence beyond any beauty that we see in this physical world. And it just was right there, present with me.
And you had a conversation with it?
I didn't have a conversation. It was just, it was love that was so profound and power that was so profound that it is indelibly in my being now. And that began the beginning of diamond alignment. That energy, that which is my higher consciousness, began to download to me every day a rebirthing that was raising all the frequency of my physical cells to really embody what I now call diamond consciousness, and to become completely aligned, impeccably aligned with my soul and why I'm here. And so this rebirthing and this bringing us into alignment and raising our frequency and clearing out all the old, because the clearing process became very strong but more gentle with the diamond. Before, it was like receiving lightning into my body, and then clearing everything that came out. But with the diamond, and it took many years. It wasn't a diamond right away. It wasn't a diamond actually until many, many years later, because it was built step by step energetically, sacred geometry in my body. So it was like building a building or a chamber, and it took a long time to do that, because every step, it was color, it was light, it was informing me what all of it meant, and the whole understanding of our physical body and our quantum physics. I mean, all of that was being given every day, until ultimately it has become the chamber, the diamond chamber. And I was told, this is not just for you. You must share it with the world. And so
yeah. So what's the diamond like? What do you mean by diamond?
The diamond is, the magenta color that you see here,
yeah,
was the first that was transmitted to me by this higher consciousness, by the divine. It was first red energy from the earth, because I had a very traumatic infancy and I did not connect to the earth. And there are many star beings and light beings on this planet that is true for. They haven't fully landed. They haven't fully anchored here. And so I really hovered. And most people I know, actually, they hover. They aren't fully here. And I had infancy trauma, so that's why I wasn't. And so what I needed is to really get connected to the earth, to the mother, very powerfully. So that red energy from the core of the earth for 2 years, every day, that's what was brought into my body. So every day for just one color, red. And then the next color that came in after that flow really got established strongly is that then this white luminescent light would come in from the crown chakra and merge in my body and become this exquisite pink that I can't even describe it, because these colors are not physical colors. They're really multi-dimensional colors. And then the next color that came, and again, this is after years, this is not in days, then this lapis blue started to be introduced. And it was told to me that this was to assist me to be able to express the love of the feminine and the power in knowing also. And so it's bringing the masculine and feminine, the white and the red, really to express it, to be able to express it. So that lapis came in. And then that's when the colors all would merge every day and become this exquisite magenta. So those 3 colors and all the information became this amazing magenta. And then after that came the form. So then it was like I would work with the colors, they would come in and really affect my body and inform me about a lot of things about this process. And then one day what happened is that this brilliant diamond, and it was made out of diamond material, and it would come, and it was a pyramid. It was a 4-sided pyramid, and it would come around, like my energy field would first be filled with the colors, and then the diamond started to come around the pyramid. And it was shown to me how it would really keep the integrity of my energy field. It would help me not to have my energy spread out all the time, and that it was aligning me and bringing me into the same state that I was getting into on the hills. But I didn't have to go to the hills anymore. So all I would have to do, once this chamber was all built, was call it in, and it would bring me vibrationally into alignment, no matter what I was dealing with in my life, because there was still the hellacious life I had to live with. So it would take all of my energies and bring body, mind, and spirit aligned and really connect me powerfully with the Mother Earth and the heavens. So then I was strong. I was clear. I could say things I didn't say before. I could do things I didn't do before. And because my life was so different from everybody I was around,
Yeah.
it was really, really hard. We're talking a long time ago. There wasn't as much consciousness as there is now. So I was a freak to people, and they were very afraid of me. So I got courage and strength to be who I am.
To say what you had to say.
No matter what. No matter what. So that's where that started.
And that what's impressive too is how you use technology to bring this now to people. That's really interesting how this came about too, because that took you another whole bowl of courage.
It did, because I'm not a techie. I don't know how to do tech things. All I did before I was I started this on the internet was, I think I had QuickBooks. That's about all I had in email, and I didn't even email that much. I just didn't use the computer that much. So when I was told to bring this to the world, and I really surrendered, and I had to move to Kauai, and that's how the green all came in, is that the magenta pyramid by itself was too powerful for people. And because I would start, and I did a whole lot of free trainings and healings and everything for many, many years when I was told to bring it out. I first started to try to do groups, but it was way too powerful. So they told me, my team, I call it my higher team now that I work with, said, we're sorry you had to find out how powerful this was the hard way, because a lot of what was being released in people immediately from that magenta pyramid would come into my body to be cleared. It was really hard because I was so open bringing the pyramid in at the time. So they said, we're sorry you had to learn the hard way, the power that you're working with. It's like fire. You need to really understand it. So we're going to help you now and bring in another step of the technology to make it comfortable for others to be able to receive. Because I had been in the hills for 9 years. I was very anchored to the earth now, but a lot of people weren't, and that's why it was too strong for them. So over many years again, the green, which you see, the green is the four-sided pyramid that is fused with the magenta, but it points into the earth, and it grounds and brings the earth energy into our bodies and connects us with the earth very, very strongly. And it makes the very, very high frequency magenta from the stellar realms be able to be accepted by the body safely and comfortably. So it's the same thing about if you're, you know this, because if you took a U.S. hired hairdryer to Europe and plug it in, it'll blow up, right? the frequencies of the converters, it needs a converter. So the same way, from the non-physical world to the physical world, that non-physical energy, this cosmic energy is so powerful and so high frequency that we need that green as the converter for the human body so that it really is safe. And you've heard about it in India and stuff when they have Shaktipat, and people can get too much in Kundalini and they end up not okay, sometimes. So this technology is designed to be very, very, very safe and yet very powerful for anybody. Child, no matter what your age is, no matter what degree of consciousness you have. So it needed to be universal and universally safe. So that's how that all came to be.
But then you use technology.
Yes, and
so
when I was told to bring it out to the world, I was shocked when I got guided to do technology, because it was like being thrown out into the depths of the ocean without a life raft. But I was really guided every step of the way, and I never would have thought to do it by the internet, but it turns out that it is brilliant, because now this technology, we're serving 190 countries in the world. And I had no idea so many people had high-speed internet, but they do all over the world. There are only what is that? There's only 10 countries we're not reaching in the whole world. There's like 200 countries on the planet. So it's an amazing way for people to access this amazing energy wherever they are in a very convenient way, because it's a 6-minute experience which delivers the energy to people when they get online and they put their earphones on and log in. There's nothing for them to do. They just receive this energy that I've been calling for, not just for me. All of those years I was calling for it for all mankind, because I was tapped into the pain of the collective. When my pain came, I really felt it for the collective. So I was calling for the collective.
So why do you think there's this type of technologies and things coming on the planet right now?
Oh, I know there are many, many fabulous technologies, and I think it is because we are in a major transition that we all know, 2012. I don't really hold 2012 as on a certain day there's going to be some explosive thing that happens, but I do feel, and we can't deny, that the vibration on the planet is really raising, and we're being flooded with amazing high cosmic energy to really support us to move to the next level and to really evolve. Well, as I said, this energy is very high frequency and very difficult to integrate. We need technologies to support us and help us, first of all, to clear so we can open up our channels to really receive this energy and have it flow through us gracefully instead of like electricity running through the body. So a lot of technologies are coming out and that to really help us clear all the, I call it the trance, all the conditioning and programming and imprinting and all the things we've told we should be. You know, we've just had so much conditioning, and all of that has to be released so that our true essence can really come out, because this is the time for us to come out as the, I call it the stellar beings that we are. You know, we are so, I know you know this, and I know the people watching know this, we're so much more than these physical bodies, but we are these physical bodies. So we want to embrace the physical, but also know we're so much larger and allow that essence, that real divine being that we are, shine forth and act in the world and speak in the world and relate in the world.
Yeah, I remember using it, and the synchronicities really increased.
Yes,
well, it was really awesome like that. But I also believe that we can get, as you get it, through the tree. You know, we can get definitely some of that vibration.
Oh, many ways.
In many ways,
never would I say Diamond Line is the only way to do this.
Yeah.
Divine energy is all here for us, always. But the diamond, the uniqueness of this technology is to be able to receive it very powerfully in the body, like I said, safely and comfortably, and in a way that's completely accessible to everybody in a really convenient way. Because I'm interested, I'm here to really support and help the planet to really evolve collectively. That's why this technology is designed to have billions of people every day tapping in and receiving the divine energy so that they can really live into their highest potential in an aligned state. So that's I have one agenda.
That's your vision.
Yeah, I have one agenda, and it is to support people to get connected to their own truth, to their own soul, and do what they came here to do.
So now, how is your environment feeling about this? Or
my environment?
Yeah, does it totally change? Like you don't have the same friends?
Oh, right. No, I have a whole new environment, and it's fabulous. It's fabulous, and you know. I am not so scary. I'm much more grounded now, and people have watched, even the old people that were scared me, they really watched, and they saw that I didn't go off on some craziness. You know, I really stayed. My process was transmutation where I was. I didn't go join some cult, you know what I mean? I didn't do anything like that, which they were a little afraid about. But, you know, over time and over years, they really saw, you know, that it was just that I was changing. In fact, many of them are changing now, but I was really a pioneer. I had to break the trail. And so I know that that's what I did. In fact, a really cute analogy of that is that when I used to go up to that tree and do the opening and receiving the divine energy, there was a ditch I had to go through and a barbed wire fence I had to climb over and a tiny little trail to get up there. Now, after 9 years, it's really funny to me. There is the ditch is gone, they filled that in, the barbed wire fence is gone, and there is a very broad and beautiful trail that's going up that is now public. And that's really symbolic. You know, I had to go and break the trail, but now everybody is going into that portal, and whether they know it or not, they're receiving, but it's symbolic that the way is opened, you know. So it's very amazing. Yeah, life is very different.
Thank you. And thank you for doing this interview in the chamber. That is absolutely amazing.
This is the first time. Yeah, first time.
So you come here every day?
Yeah, but I'm working in the diamond. I'm working with the diamond on behalf of the people who are connected to the grid every day, all day. So coming here, it's not dependent on coming here, but yes, I do. I come here because it is completely joy to be here. I mean, it's like being, well, you feel it. It's a very, very high vibration. So it's really awesome to come to.
And I used to call you Joy. I love it because your last name is Joy.
It's actually my middle name. It's
your
my
middle
true
name?
middle name. And that is the whole essence of Diamond Alignment, is to really activate the innate joy that is within all of our cells. So that's that divine being that lies within every cell. So activating that.
On the cellular level. Huh?
Yes.
And it's increasing the as more people tune in, then I guess the energy is magnifying.
Absolutely. So the portals have been set up all over the world many years ago. But so the energy has been flowing on the planet. The diamond energy has been flowing to support the planet and to raise the frequency and for the earth, to support the earth and the healing of the earth, as well as all of us human beings. It's been operating in the etheric realm for a very long time, but when I went onto the internet and made it more physicalized, because now people can see it and hear it, and when people now plug in to the grid and they really actively receive, they are receiving the energy in their own bodies, but they're also grounding it into the earth in their corner of the world. So it is definitely making the whole technology very stronger and stronger and stronger, because now we have conscious receivers that are really doing it through their bodies. So that's all raising the frequency of the whole.
Ooh la la!
Yeah.
Well, thank you. It was so much joy spending this moment.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. It's really great to be able to share energy, as I know you will be able to do it.
Yeah, and it was perfect. As we're heading down from San Francisco to Los Angeles, Carmel is this beautiful. Well, Clint Eastwood was married here.
Yeah, he's very active here.
He's very active.
He's still very, he loves this area. He was born and raised in this area, and this man has a tremendous sense of gratitude. And so he's always giving back to this community, and you see him around a lot. He doesn't hide. He's very visible.
And I love all the dogs everywhere, and those beaches with dogs everywhere. I mean, this is quite special town, you can tell.
It's very amazing, pure, huh?
Yeah.
It's a pure and a very sweet
and friendly
place.
and open, yeah.
But, you can feel it, again, if you're really in tune to energy, which I know you are, how pure it feels here.
Yeah.
It's an
very
amazing place to live. Because of that.
Thank you. How much love, my beautiful readers.